Since winning it all a season ago, the Buckeyes continue to set the bar for excellence on the field. But for Ryan Day, it's always been more important that Ohio State be the gold standard when it comes to ensuring his players' mental health.
I tell the guys all the time, life is hard. The game of football doesn't care, and neither does the world. So we want to be there for them. Understanding, that you have physical health and you have mental health, and that, you need to make sure that you're taking care of both along the way. To be able to be aware of that and reflect is important, but mostly to know that, they have people around here that care about them and that are here to help.
College athletes are elite human beings, so with that comes a lot of expectations. If you play at a place like The Ohio State University, you also happen to play for a national championship team. Not only is the pressure there during game, the pressure is there post-game because of social media, right? You're gonna hear about it, good and bad.
All right, fellas, here we go. All right, second half of the season. It's always going to be about us. It's going to be about our training. It's going to be about our focus. That means we got to be clean. We got to execute.
Being at Ohio State, we know it's such a high pedestal to be at, and when you get in here, you got to take care of business.
If I'm focused, like really concentrating on every little detail, I have a chance to be more consistent. I think what happens is we all lose focus. Can you do it? The answer is yes.
One thing I think Coach Day does really well is that he cares so much about us, that he has so many opportunities for us to talk to people. Definitely a big stress relief.
We have psychiatrists, psychologists, athletic counselors for whatever needs to be put into place. It's something in sports psychology where guys having a hard time because he's dropping the ball, or maybe it's something because a girlfriend broke up with him, or maybe there's a chemical imbalance that needs to be treated. It's one of the more masculine things you can do is to show vulnerability. And what's going on here at Ohio State and the case studies that Dr. Fahn is doing and, groundbreaking research, we want to continue to be a part of that. But also what's going on downtown at Nationwide Children's and what they do with the Kids Mental Health Foundation, just tremendous, just to help with that. And then spread the word. This is important because access is one of the biggest issues across the country. And I believe here in Columbus, we're really pushing the message.
Having perspective is very, very important. Every position group on a Friday goes to the hospital at Ohio State. And they go and they visit patients and they visit families to realize what's really important in life.
Most of the time, coaches of that caliber, of that stature, speak purely about football. The fact that he talks about mental health, about emotions, about feelings, about stress, about adversity, and ultimately about resilience, it's not just impressive, it's also extraordinary.
How you feeling, all right? A little sore? There you go, Will. There you go, Will. Will looks good.
If we want to get stronger, we bench. If we want to get in better shape, we run. But what are we doing to help our mental health get stronger? And for a lot of us, it's being uncomfortable. It's putting ourselves in situations that are challenging, and that's how you grow.
What's big here is the brotherhood. So many people that just love and care for each other. If I had any problems, go grab my teammate, grab my roommate, grab Coach Day, Coach Johnson, and just talk it through.
Life is all about the ups and the downs, and that when things are really, really good, enjoy it the best you can. But when things aren't going well, you got to hang on because eventually it's gonna turn.
And he is a superhero, so when a superhero talks about mental health, it allows other people to say, well, Coach Day can speak of it, and he's open about it. You're able to just let your guard down, to just share how you feel. Those kinds of openings are what ultimately save lives.
Save lives, and you can only imagine how tight these players feel toward each other and to the coaching staff. And Ryan Day mentioned access. They have amazing access there. That circle of care was wild, but this clearly emanates from Ryan Day.
Yeah, and it has to. And this is the way it should work, and I applaud him for what he's done. And I'm privy to what Ryan Day has done with the Buckeye program with a group called Radical Hope, which is the gold standard of well-being for student athletes. So the buy-in is tremendous. And the bottom line is, when you feel good, you play good. So this isn't just about feeling good and touchy-feely stuff in our emotions. This is about feeling and playing better. This is performance enhancement, and those universities and schools that lean into it, like Ohio State, clearly are in an advantage.
Ohio State has all the resources in the world, so they're putting their money where their mouth is and taking care of the student athlete and the whole of the student athlete. But it doesn't excuse the assistant coach for having a relationship with those players. And obviously they have a terrific relationship there because the coach has to exact all the great athleticism out of that player, but then he has to also care about that player. And that relationship of trust is absolutely paramount. I go back to my days. I know you go back to your days with Joe Moore. I had Homer Smith. That guy demanded of me, but he also made sure that I knew that he loved me. And that is critical in this day and age.
I am smiling inwardly and outwardly because this is cool. And this is something, back when we were playing in the Neanderthal days, we couldn't have this discussion.
Right.
You know what they would have called us? Now we can be vulnerable. And thanks to Ryan Day and the organization you're working with and all these others that are out there and has made this a prominent issue. I read somewhere where we've transitioned from tough it out to speak it out. And that is so cool. You hit the nail on the head, man, talking about how this is not just, this is about performance-based. Because if I'm feeling good inside of here, I can handle all the pressures that society places upon us, the scrutiny that we have about our performance, the pressures from maybe family, all the things that are associated with playing this great game. So this needs to continue. It needs to grow because, man, if you get that head right, nothing can stop you.
I'll say this, man. I was a guy that really struggled with my confidence. Despite all of my successes, I had that doubt, the imposter syndrome. So I was the toughest opponent I had to play against. It took me way too long to figure out that our life experience is something that we can control. That how we feel 5 years, 5 months, 5 minutes from right now is something that we can largely choose. But what many of us have to do, myself included, is start to change the way that we think. And that means moving our focus and attention away from what's negative to the things that we have access to that are free, that can work and help us feel and play better in as little as 5 minutes. Because what's at stake if we don't is we all end up like BJ.
Oh, man.
As I said a couple weeks ago when we broached this topic, he's right. You don't want to go there. As I said a couple weeks ago, therapy is not a weakness. It is maintenance.
Yep.
We need it.
That's right.
Maintenance, and in this case, for guys who play a gladiator sport.
Yes.
And so this will also, you know, make them better parents in the future, too.
No doubt.
Because everyone's got kids, and you have to cross this, area in